What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not even close. What a busy day we have today at the brand. How busy? I'm glad you asked. In your feed right now, Kentucky Derby episode. In your feed right now, MMA episode, Bellator 280 today, afternoon start in Paris. PFL tonight, ESPN Plus. I, of course, will be a part of that broadcast on ESPN. And then we have the UFC tomorrow. Let's quickly look at how we did yesterday. It wasn't a great day. It wasn't a horrible day either. Of course, the Maestro coming through strong for us. I almost came off the Giants. I should have when they changed the pitcher, but I didn't, and that's the way it goes. So too few many X's there, but what do we do? When we have a busy day at the brand, I bring in my heavy hitters. And I mean all my heavy hitters. Look who we have today. Oh, my goodness. At my disposal, first and foremost, she gets front row tickets just like we wake up in the morning. Alabama. Good morning, my dear.
Good morning. Still a little bitter about that terrible ending to the Blue Jays first five and then the full game too. But
oh, I know. I mean, it's crazy, the ups and the downs. If you were a Mets bettor last night, my goodness. You woke up and your account was so much bigger. All these bad beats all over the place. You're going to get it right back today. Speaking of the Mets. Now, we call him Bowman's best bets because they seem like they all are. Johnny Bowman. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, I literally turned off that Mets game. I'm not going to lie. I completely turned it off. I counted them out and I checked. I get a text from my friend. All of a sudden, it's 7-7. And then literally as I'm checking, the score changes from 8-7. I finally got the game on, but at least you got to see the save. So happy about that plus 140.
Oh, my goodness. That was probably the best win you've ever had. For people who don't know, it was the first time the Mets have come back from being down at least 6 runs in the ninth inning since 1997. 25 years. Oh, he is our OG. He's our heartbeat. He is our leader. There is no disputing that. Larry Hartstein, the Maestro. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. You were right yesterday. We talked about Joel Embiid, and you said, why don't I bet the Heat now? And I was like, you know what? Let's just see what his status is. Well, the line moved 4.5 points because he is listed as out for game 3. There is still like a sliver of optimism that they will change that and that he'll play. But you're right. We should have jumped on the Heat yesterday.
Damn it. I knew it, and I said it, and I didn't do it myself. Sometimes you got to trust your gut. We learn the hard way. We learn together, though. We learn together. What do we say all the time? Educate and entertain. We need to do that, too. All right, let's get into our storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And where do we start? Well, you heard Allie talk about her first 5 bad beat. What's the best way to get over it? We talk about it. Let's talk through it. Allie, you're up.
okay, so I have some of the top 3 teams that are kind of profitable for the first 5 money lines so far. And then speaking of the Mets, 8-2-6, the Giants 10-3-3, and the Angels 9-5-2. And I also have the worst 3. And then obviously the Reds are going to take that first place at 2-12-1. Phillies 4-9-4, the Nats 5-11. So I think those are definitely, it's obviously dependent on the pitchers, which is a huge part of it. But also looking at teams' average runs scored in the first 5 and average runs allowed in the first 5 can be really helpful because you can tell a lot of these teams like to score kind of specifically in the first part of the game or in the last half of the game. So I think it's really important to kind of look at those stats if you're considering a first 5.
I think it absolutely is paramount that we look at those stats.
And Coach, can I jump in on that with the Diamondbacks in terms of the first 5 run line? 18-8, the best in baseball. I'm looking at that first 5 tonight with Merrill Kelly on the mound. You'd have to lay a half a run to get it down to minus 115. If you play the money line, it's minus 160, a little steep. The Rockies do have a good pitcher, but they're terrible on the road, as we know.
They are terrible on the road. I'm going to add that to my list of plays. Minus a half a run, cancel that, carry the 2. Okay, I'm good. All right, now, you mentioned pitchers, Allie. You said pitchers. And we have now about a month of data to start looking at certain pitchers. Johnny B., you're up.
Yeah, so I've been getting a few questions on Twitter about how I rank lineups and bullpens because I mentioned in my write-ups they're ranked 29th. They're ranked 3rd. So this is an arbitrary ranking, but it's important to use lefty versus righty splits because these are completely different lineups. So anytime you're looking at a lineup, you look at righty versus lefty splits. When you're looking at pitching, you want to split it into relievers versus starters. I personally use weighted on base average to rank hitting because it factors in hits, number of bases in the hits, walks, etc. But this isn't the only correct way to rank offenses. But find something you like and stay consistent with it. Don't use batting average to rank one team, then go to weighted on base average to rank another team just to fit your narrative of how you want to play the game. Whatever you use, you have to stay consistent. So when it comes to pitching, use ERA to rank bullpens, or at least I do. This is pretty universally accepted as the best way to rank starting pitchers and bullpens. FIP is another good option, fielding independent pitching, but whatever you use, stay consistent. And that's what you got to do.
You know what I love about having you as part of our crew? You do a lot of the work that I would never want to do. Oh, my God, the stuff you come up with. It's amazing. By the way, Ashby in the chat. He says, good morning, Early Edge family. Work had me a little late. Stupid work. Yeah, we hate when that gets in the way of life. Sorry you had to work, Ashby, but we're glad that you could sneak away to watch our little show called The Early Edge. Now, Johnny, you mentioned 29, 30, throwing out all these kind of numbers. Guess where the Cincinnati Reds are not? They're nowhere near anything but dead last. Maestro, you're up.
Yeah, I think nothing brings sports bettors together like a sure thing. And a sure thing this season is betting against the Reds. I mean, the euphoria on Twitter, among gambling Twitter, where everyone is cashing almost every night against the Reds. It's really something to behold. And I got to give a tip of the cap to our friend Mad Max, because the Reds went up 3-0 in the first, and he live bet and posted it right on Twitter. Brewers money line. Brewers minus 1.5, minus 2.5, minus 3.5, all the way up to plus 700. Of course, it comes in. They win 10-5. Since the 2-2 start for the Reds, 20 of 21 they've lost. 19 of those 20 by at least 2 runs, and 16 of the 20 by at least 3 runs. So if you are playing the Reds alternate money lines run lines against them, you're also cashing huge. And what's interesting is today they seem to have the pitching edge against the Pirates. But still, the Pirates were minus 105. Now they're minus 130 on Caesars. Basically, nobody cares at this point. It's just fade the Reds.
That is so funny and also very profitable. And by the way, if you guys haven't seen the video that AB posted on Twitter, very, very funny. Very, very funny. Sorry, Cincinnati. You are who you are. A couple of things from the chat. The Oaks, give me a cigar and a bourbon. What bourbon do you drinking, Coach? I'm not really a bourbon guy, Sig, but I will certainly share a drink if we cash one of our plays from our Kentucky Derby episode in your feed right now. All right. Now, it's about time to get to our board, but before we do that, I would love to run AB's video as our commercial because we've grown so big. I can't do that, but what I can do is say we'll be back after the break. And we are back, and it's time for our board today. Now, my man Jairi in the chat. I'm going to do this live on the show. Where is it, AB? Find Jairi. There he is. He says, Coach, if we have a clean sweep today, and I need that green on white SportsLine shirt, brother, ASAP. Jairi, here's what I'm going to do for you. If we sweep every play on the board today, I will send you the one I'm wearing right now. It has to be every one, a clean sweep. You get this shirt that I'm wearing, and I will sign it too. There you go. All right, now our plays tonight. We got 3 big plays for SportsLine, and if you're not a SportsLine member, what in the world are you doing? It's the best value in all of sports betting. Let's go. Now, we're going to go Heat minus 3.5. Even though Maestro and myself are kicking ourselves for not playing this when it was 1, it doesn't matter. The Sixers are toast. Burnt toast. We'll lay the 3.5. No issues there whatsoever. Then, Suns. They've kind of gotten the Mavs backed into a corner. Well, the Mavs are getting Luka to go bananas, and they still can't win the game. That's very, very mentally debilitating as a basketball player. We'll take the Suns, pick them on the road, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then one more play on the ice. The NHL playoffs have been terrific, and we're going to continue that tonight. Blues on the money line, minus 115. This hits in 64% of our SportsLine simulations. We love it. Blues are 80%, 4-1, straight up against the Wild this season. We'll take those numbers, and we'll take the Blues all the way. All right, now, we got a very strategic way we're doing this today. Did I mention we've got Bellator and PFL today? Yeah, the MMA episode in your feed right now. So, Alabama. Whoo, last night we talked about the Mets, but how can they bounce back emotionally? Sometimes it can be good. Sometimes it can be bad. What say you?
Okay, so since the Mets are going with Max Scherzer today, I'm going to lay them on the money line at minus 145. they've won all 5 of his starts. He's made 2 starts against the Phillies already. He kind of struggled in the one at home, but he was able to limit the Phillies to 1 run in 5 innings in his last start there. So Kyle Gibson, he did do well in his start in New York, but I've got to back Max Scherzer here. Neither bullpen has really been particularly impressive, but I think the Mets really has that edge. And if anything, that's going to be what matters, as we saw last night. So I think I'll go with the Mets at -145.
I think I'll go with the Mets at -145 too. I love this play. This is a true story. I actually sent this in before I look at any of the plays. I actually sent this in as I was going to do 2 plays today. So that's how much I love this play. That I was going to do it too. Now I don't know if that makes Allie feel any better, but that's just the way.
You've been doing better than me lately, so.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. All right, so I'm going to go next. And if you keep giving me these over 6.5 overs in baseball, then I'm going to keep hammering them until you raise them. Last night, Rays Mariners over 6.5. It was easy. So here's what we're doing. Blue Jays, Indians in our simulations, 9.7. There's still this misconception that Bieber is a good pitcher. He's not anymore. He just isn't. And he's not the pitcher he used to be. So you're going to give me a 4-3 game, Blue Jays, Cleveland? I'll take that all day. Now, Johnny Bowman, I hate to make you wait so long, but it's now time for Bowman's best bet. What do we got today, sir?
Yeah, happy to wait, Coach, because I actually agree with you in that last pick, but I'm going Blue Jays money line -145 versus the Guardians. But as you said, Shane Bieber, I almost said Justin Bieber. Shane Bieber he's lost some velo. So his velo is actually down. He has become more of a command pitcher, and he's been successful with it to start the season, but I don't think he'll be as successful in the long run. Kevin Gausman has been very good as well. And I think both starters should be fine tonight, but I could see, like you said, a 2-2 game. And then these bullpens is where it'll really open up. So expect a lot of runs late. But the Blue Jays have been struggling. And last night was a tough travel spot for them after a night game against the Yankees. George Springer was also out of the lineup. He should be back in the lineup today. The Guardians bullpen is very worked after a doubleheader on Wednesday, 2 close games, and then a close game last night. Emmanuel Clase, Brian Shaw, and Nick Sandlin would all be pitching their 3rd game in 3 nights if they were to appear in 3 days. The Blue Jays bullpen is struggling as well, but they're all rested. Everyone's available. So after last night's win, the Guardians improved to just 2-11 against winning teams this season. So I like the Blue Jays on the road.
I love it when our plays are correlated together. I don't know. It just makes me feel better. We can all root for each other. It's a team effort. I absolutely love it. Now, there's a team that I've actually enjoyed watching this year, and they've had some pretty good games. They can hit the ball. They're better than people think they are. Maestro, the floor is yours.
Well, I assume you're talking about the Baltimore Orioles, who homered 5 times yesterday. They've won 4 out of 6. Now, they did have a problem in that they struck out 12 times and didn't walk, but now they're facing Carlos Hernandez, who actually has more walks than strikeouts. So if they could take a walk or 2 before they hit the homers, that's going to help us today. The Royals come in 2-6 on the road, have been shut out 3 times in their last 6 games. They've actually only won 4 of their last 17 visiting Baltimore. And Lyles for the Orioles has been good, except for 1 visit to Yankee Stadium where he got lit up. Other than that, he's been solid. I think the price is too low. The money's already coming in on Baltimore. We saw this at -115. I posted on the site at -127. I wouldn't go higher than -135, but I think it's heading there.
And get it in right now. I cannot emphasize enough. I feel like I just put myself on repeat. When my cappers give a play, it moves. When my cappers give a play, it moves. It just does.
Coach,
all right.
You mind if I mention something real fast?
It better be good if you're going to
So I'm seeing in the chat, people are mentioning the Blue Jays really bad with runners in scoring position this year. Yeah, that's actually true. I believe they're the 2nd worst team with runners in scoring position this year. But the way I look at that is they're just due to hit. They hit normally. They're going to hit with runners in scoring position. So don't take that as a factor to get off the game.
Listen to the man. I do. I do. All right, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, and it looks absolutely glorious, courtesy of AB. Maestro's on the Orioles money line. Get it in, -127. It's just going up, up, up. Johnny B is on the Blue Jays on the money line, -145. They will have advantage in the bullpen, and you heard the data on that. We have it all coming together. Then the Mets, they're going to use one of the great comebacks in team history, in Major League Baseball history, to back it up today, -145. Love that play from Alabama. Then we're going to cash with the coach. We're going to do it with runs. Blue Jays, Guardians over 6.5. Then 3 big plays from SportsLine itself. Heat lay the points. Suns pick them, and the Blues on the ice. AB, show your face. Oh, where's that big old... There he is from the satellite space station that is the SportsLine offices. Explain your AB3 today, because I'll be honest with you, it's a little juicy.
It is. We're going with a nice plus 434 look, and Heat money line, Blues money line, or Heat money line, yeah. Blues, Blue Jays over, and then the Mets money line. So it kind of plays into exactly what you guys are picking today. And a little inside baseball, like we don't discuss the picks that everyone's on, right? Like we don't correlate. Like what you're on is what you're on, right? And we're all kind of correlated here today. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. We're gonna find out. Hopefully it's a good thing. Yeah, and you'll be sitting your shirt out. Yeah.
Don't disappear. I know. This is one of my favorite shirts, and I'm gonna give it away if we all win.
Noah said it in the chat too. That's the last one that will exist on this planet. They don't make them anymore. We can't get them anymore. Noah doesn't have anymore. So that's legitimately the last one that exists.
That would have been information I would have liked to have had before.
Yeah.
I agreed to give it away. Thank you, AB.
All right. Have a good day.
Oh, my goodness. I'm like giving away a unicorn today, apparently. Oh, man, I love doing this so very much. A quick reminder, turn on those notifications for me, please. This YouTube channel, or whether you listen on Apple or Spotify, we have so much content, and we don't want you to miss any of it. Kentucky Derby with Gene. Oh, and we've got somebody new for you. What's her name there, Maestro? Stephanie.
Michelle Yu.
Michelle, I said Stephanie. Michelle Yu. That's going to be your new thing. We're going to be like, Michelle Yu. I love it. So check them out on the Kentucky Derby episode. Me and Andrew Gummas. I'm even giving plays out today in Bellator and PFL tonight. That might be worth watching just for that. But that's in your feed as well. We have it all for you, and we love doing it so much, so very much. And as you all know, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. Alabama, Johnny B, the Maestro, of course, AB on the ones and the twos. Put it all together here at the brand. I am the coach. Tell all your friends. You want to learn a little bit? You want to have some fun? You want to be included? Right here, Early Edge. Good luck.